Fred, obviously Morecambe at a side where they're the perennial, I suppose, relegation fodder. But Jim Bentley somewhere around turns the corner, doesn't he? And he seems to have done it this year. I'm not saying they're going to get out of it, but they're going to be a difficult test and maybe a more physical battle than what maybe you come across in other teams.
Yeah, I think that's what Jim does. I think Jim gets, with the budget he's got, I think he's down there with probably ourselves, one of the least budgets in the Football League. He gets a lot of war horses, gets a small squad together. I think the lad Ellison must be, 38?
40, I think.
40, is he?
Yeah.
Well, 4 years younger than me then. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you look at people like that, they keep themselves fit. I was looking at Jim's team the other day, and he's got quite a, old squad, but puts them together and they do battle for him.
But apart from maybe the Colchester result, where everybody admitted probably Colchester were the dominant force on that side, your away performance has been right up to there. So where do you think it's going wrong then, Fred? Is it just about switching off, losing focus, what?
It's an hard one, isn't it? I mean, obviously, if I knew the answer, I'd be in the Premier League as a manager, wouldn't I? But I mean, putting your finger on it, I just don't quite know at the moment. I mean, as I say, it's putting your chances away, I think. If you put your chances away, it gives a bit of more of a breather, because obviously putting more pressure on your back four and your midfield to sort of keep a clean sheet. But if you say, you put your chances away, I mean, as I said, the Colchester one is probably the only game apart from Bury that have, really sort of looked impressive. When you went to say, I mentioned the Crawley game, if I was sat at home listening to the radio and thinking 3-0, we've been turned over massively. But if you were there, you wouldn't believe the chances we missed,
And you are creating chances, so that's a good sign. But it's about finishing them, isn't it, really, when you're in that zone to do it?
Yeah. I mean, we've done all sorts with them, with the players during the week. We've put shooting sessions on, we've done all sorts of drills for them, just to sort of get them in the target, But it's putting that match situation on, isn't it? The nerves, the atmosphere, everything else goes together, doesn't it? It's all right being there Monday or Friday, putting the ball in the back of the net, and there's people flying at you, putting the bodies in the way, sort of thing. But that's things we've got to try and get used to.
So the two players we're talking about, of course, Eddie, obviously a doubt in many, many ways, in more ways than one, but also Paul Green. 24 hours you wait for that time?
We're waiting for the physio to get the report off the surgeon. We went and saw the other day to see what the scan shows. But looking at Greeny walking around the place, you never know with Greeny. He's a war horse. I think it's the old type of people that you sometimes need in your team, that you've got him that, Eddie plays with all sorts of injuries, so you never know with Eddie. Eddie's played with, bad calves, he's done this and whatever, tears in his calf and whatever, and he's just got on with it and played. Greeny's the same sort of thing, he's been around his derbies and the Sheffield teams, and, they sort of enjoy playing. That's why, he works hard in the gym. Whatever Greeny does, he puts 110% into it.
He's a vital cog in many ways, so you really like him back in the equation. You'll have to wait and see whether that happens. In many ways, won't you, really? But he's a vital cog in it.
Yeah, he's a vital cog, but as I say, we've had some good performances when he hasn't been in the side by the lads, so it's a squad game, isn't it? I mean, if it wasn't a squad, you'd be signing 11 players at the start of the season and sticking with them, wouldn't you? But, you have to have 23, 24 players because injuries, bookings, suspensions, so you've got to have a good team in depth.